this video, I'll go through how coffee may potentially be killing your intellect and your gains faster than you think. Like almost all people, I've always loved to drink coffee, but it might be a bit overrated, and I will explain why in this video and what you should do about it. This video might change your entire view of stress, the fight or flight system, and might stop you from actually drinking coffee. So to give you a little bit of social proof, you can look at my physique on screen right now. I have been in the health and fitness space for 3 years plus. I've been training my entire life, and I've always wanted to optimize things. I wanted to optimize my sleep, my training, my diet, and now I've finally realized that I want to optimize my stress. And leading into this rabbit hole, I found the problem about coffee that most people don't really think about, and I've heard people speak about, but I'm not really thought about it in my head, and the potential downsides for you actually drinking coffee. Because in my opinion, most people look at stress completely wrong. Most people think that stress is just a byproduct of training, of exercise, and it's not really that bad. But spiking stress at totally random times when you are not engaging in any type of exercise, you're not doing something hard, and you're just sitting at your table like this, you're drinking coffee because you want to be aware and you want to spike your focus or something like this, isn't really great in my opinion. Of course, I'm not really that much against coffee, just a little bit. And the reason is because I'm actually quite intolerant to coffee, and that was the reason I made this video in the first place. Because whenever I drink coffee, I get insane jittery, and I literally start sweating if I haven't drank coffee in a couple of days and I've been without it. I get a little bit jittery and I get shaky and stressful, and my vision starts to blur out. I'm very, very sensitive to drinking coffee. And this is actually the point with training and spiking your stress in general, is that most people overlook this quite much. Let me get into why caffeine, and specifically coffee, is way worse than most people realize, and why I've kind of stopped drinking coffee and caffeine myself. I sometimes do, but I'm trying to cut it out almost completely because I no longer believe that coffee is that great. So the first reason is oxalates. Now you might be wondering, what the fuck is oxalates? Well, oxalates is the plant mechanism, the defense mechanism inside of plants that keep other animals from eating them. So this keeps most animals and bugs specifically from eating certain plants. More different plants have more of this, and so on. In general, coffee has actually a lot of oxalates, and what oxalate does is that it binds to different minerals inside of your body, such as magnesium and potassium and calcium. And if you over time start drinking a lot of coffee, you start draining these. You don't drain these on a huge scale, but on a smaller scale, and this combined with what I'm about to say right now is starting to create a problem, at least in my mind. Because also, when you release adrenaline and cortisol and these stress hormones that you get when you're trying to be more awake from drinking caffeine and coffee, you automatically start draining different minerals in your body, such as magnesium and potassium. You also lose a bunch of water when drinking coffee, which might be good and might be bad. It's good if you want to have hollow cheeks and you want to look good, right? But for performance sake, removing water and minerals from your body isn't really great. It doesn't really contribute to anything. It's actually quite bad to just randomly lose minerals, especially electrolytes that are very essential to your body. So oxalates and stress drag basically your life force, your minerals from your body, and this keeps you in an evil cycle where you want to drink more coffee because you no longer have any energy, because the energy that you did have, you lost it through sleep, or you had a bad diet, or you drank too much coffee, had too much stress. Because being stressed, by the way, it gives you more hunger. It gives you it makes you more hungry, and being stressed overall is not something that you want to aim to be. And just acting out of stress in everyday decisions, on the huge scale decisions, is not a very abundant way of thinking. It's not a great way of being. Just acting out of this fight or flight mode that you put yourself through when you drink coffee, because that is in actuality what you're doing. You're putting yourself in fight or flight mode for no apparent reason other than you wanting to be awake, you wanting to have more focus, which you could get if you just focus on your diet, on your sleep, and just living a great life. But you choose to have this plant-based, not really natural for us humans, consumable that you drink every single day because you want to have an extra little energy spike. Not only this, but if coffee is consumed fasted in the early mornings or multiple times a day, you begin to amplify the stress signal even more. You might start creating more jitteriness. You might actually get yourself insomnia. In my opinion, energy shouldn't rely on a fight or flight system. It should instead rely on things such as food and sleep. And I think most people would agree on this. However, they might continue drinking coffee. And you might wonder, why would you do that? And why would I do that? Well, that is because caffeine gives you dopamine. It's an addictive substance. For all addictive substances, it's probably quite clear that they in general aren't really that great for you, but you continue doing them anyways because they feel good doing. If you do this for a long period of time, if you drink coffee every single day for the rest of your life, that's going to probably make your life worse in the long term. I am not against drinking coffee every once in a while, recreationally, once a week, but doing it so many times is not really good for life decisions, because imagine this, if you constantly make decisions out of fight or flight mode, how do you think that this is going to impact you? Do you think that these decisions will be better or worse than if you were completely stress-free? Because I don't think so. So instead of actually drinking so much coffee, I propose to you that you start taking care of your diet, your sleep, way better, and you potentially want to add creatine as a supplement into your diet instead, because creatine has been recently shown in recent studies to actually negate sleep loss by more than if you were not sleep lost at all. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically if you take 20 to 30 grams of creatine, according to this study, could be more energized than if you had more sleep. Basically, if you have creatine, even when sleep lost, you might have more energy than if you weren't sleep lost. That is it's a very great supplement. Creatine is good for muscle, it's good for energy, it's good for aging, it's good for recovery, it's good for sleep. So why wouldn't you take creatine? Now, if you resonated with my reasoning, you might want to work one-on-one with me. I have a coaching system where I help you fix whatever problem that you are facing in your health, whether it be in your training, in your sleep, in your diet, with your stress, and I can just completely help you with whatever you need help with. So click the link down below if you're interested in that, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.